Horizon Zero Dawn. It was set to be the PS4's big new exclusive game, and there was a lot of hype before the game's release. The game ended up being highly praised, and mostly lived up to that expectation. The game is an open world RPG. The world is huge, offering plenty to do if you're one of those people that likes to get distracted from the main story as much as I do. There's around 60 hours of gameplay, including running around and exploring, and as you're thrust out into the world, you'll be gathering sticks and machine parts to create weapons to survive, and hunting animals for their hides to build gear. But that was something I really enjoyed, was going out and hunting those foxes, and you're sitting there quietly stalking it, and then this big machine just comes out of nowhere and completely mauls you to death. The skill tree is flat and nothing to get excited about. A lot of the abilities I think should have been there from the start of the game, and let the tree have developed further. And also I found that you could basically just stick to one tree and not have to worry about the others for most of the game. The Assassin's Creed style climbing, I was sort of expecting to do more of that in terms of like climbing buildings or climbing trees or something like that, but the climbing's really restricted to just the main story and the collectibles. But if you're just off on a random adventure and you see a hill, most of the time you'll just be mashing that circle button to get to the top. The game is absolutely beautiful, an absolute treat for the eyes. And one thing I did really enjoy was that outside big, bright, new world, and the juxtaposition of that to the dark underbelly of the past, all lit up by artificial light, that sort of mix of dark and light. It's just a stunning game to look at. So the story leads you through towns, villages, and out in the open, but really where you get the most of the story is in these underground segments. It's really cool the way they've done it. Most of the story is played through holograms and logbooks, things from the past. It gives a great sense of what came before. Each encounter puts together a different piece of the puzzle for the main story, but also gives you a sense of what their world was like, and gives the game so much more depth. The game jumps between tradition and technology, and I think it's a great thing to explore. And can we trust all this technology around us? And that mistrust of information. And once you really get into the storyline, the game really opens up and becomes a huge experience. So half the combat in the game is stealth, hiding in long grass, staying out of sight to take down the smaller machines and the humans in the game. And this is your bread and butter for the first third of the game, I think, until the monsters get bigger. And once the monsters get bigger, you can use those stealth kits to do one big blow at the start, but then the rest of the fighting becomes fairly heavy, and you've got to be jumping out of the way, timing your shots, and using your vision here you can see to highlight weak points in the animals to bring them down and do massive damage. So as well as that, once you've scanned them, you can go into your machine catalog and you can see what each part is weak to and different things like that. So these blaze canisters, if you hit them with fire, they'll explode and do huge damage. But it means you can also look and see if they've got weapons, and you can shoot their weapons off, or you can shoot armor plating off, so it's easier for you to take them down with your spear. And as you go through the game, you get this massive roster of weapons, each different, and each is better at taking down a different beast. And you can also customize your armor, so you can really make each battle unique and different. So a game it's like is The Witcher, I thought. So you see here using your Witcher senses to sneak up on enemies, but also the fighting, I thought that sort of hack and slash, jump out of the way, sort of mirrors quite well as well. And they've both got those sort of machine and monster catalogs that you both look up to sense your enemy's weaknesses. And then as well, Enslaved has got that sort of prehistoric to metal monster fighting sort of thing as well. Horizon Zero Dawn, fighting big metal dinosaurs with a bow and arrow. How does that not sound amazing? But the game does go deeper than that. I was scared when I first got the game that it was just going to be about killing metal dinosaurs. I was like, yeah, that's all good, but it's not going to keep me there for 60 hours. But the story and the world are well worth exploring, and that's why I think it's a 4 out of 5. It doesn't do anything particularly new, but what it does take from the other games, it does really, really well. And overall, just a very fun experience. Things to do in the world of Horizon. Dress up. Fox Run. Metal Horse. Help the peasantry. Help the non-peasantry. Ooh, hook bow. Ooh, boom bow. Ooh, hot spicy bow. Ooh, does somebody open a window? Chilly bow. Ah, you've got it, my dear. Brr.